They got Willa. They got my daughter. I need to find her. Ah!
From acclaimed director Paul Thomas Anderson.
You can save that girl.
Today, experience what is being called the best movie of the year.
This is the end of the line. Not for you.
Leonardo DiCaprio, Sean Penn, Benicio del Toro, Tiana Taylor, Chase Infinity.
Let's go!
One battle after another. Now playing only in theaters. Experience it in IMAX. Rated R. Under 17 animated without parent.
You can hide.
Finish training for the day? Time to fight post-workout fatigue with Core Power Protein Shakes. They're packed with 26 grams of high-quality protein to build muscle and electrolytes to help hydrate. The nutrition you need to help your body replenish, rebuild, and repair post-workout so you can power on to the next one. Champion your recovery with Core Power. Visit corepower.com to learn more.
Dripping in gold? That's cool. Dripping in Velveeta's supremely creamy golden cheesiness? That's respect. Elevate your drip with Velveeta's range of outrageously delicious dips and dishes. Shells, cheese, melty blocks, and heat and eat queso that go all in on indulgence. Flex on your fam with a creamy, cheesy masterpiece and go all in on what you love with Velveeta. Respect the drip and satisfy your cravings. Bring home the drip with Velveeta.
You're listening to the Super Rugby Cymru podcast.
Hello and welcome to the SRC podcast. Joining me to preview Ebbw Vale season is their head coach, the one and only Jason Strange. Thank you for joining me. How are you?
Yeah, I'm very good, thanks. Martin, doing really well, thanks.
Excellent. So let's dive straight in. So you were heading up the coaching team. Who is helping you along on the coaching duties?
So at the moment, we've got Aaron Cowley, who does the forwards. He's been there for the past 2 seasons. We've also just appointed Ian Probert, who's been with the Scarlets for the last 7 or 8 years as an analyst. So he's going to come in and start his coaching career with us and also do some analysis. And then we've also got Steve Lang, who does the backs. And we've added to our S&C with an ex-player, Dawid Rabazniak, who's been very good throughout pre-season so far. So yeah, a little bit of continuity, and Ian and Dawid has joined us, and they've done really well so far.
Coaching setup, a lot of settled faces, a few new ones. So who are the key players in your squad this season? Obviously, you've announced your captain, Joe Franchi. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, Joe Franchi continues. So we lost Rhys Francis at the end of the season. He retired, unfortunately. So Joe will take over the captaincy on his own. A lot of experience, and yeah, he's a great leader for us.
Who are the other key players there at Ebbw Vale? So can you give me 2 or 3 who are really core members of that team?
Yeah, I would say the senior players who take a responsibility for a lot of the leadership of the team would be your John Evans, your Dom Franchise. Evan Lloyd has been good for a young 10. Up front then would be Joe himself. So yeah, we've got a nice balance at the moment of players who've played probably 150, 200 Premiership games, and a lot of youngsters who only played their first year last season. So yeah, we're happy with the squad, happy with the influence those senior players will have, and yeah, looking forward to getting started this season.
So the SRC is made out to be a development competition. So you've had a lot of first years last season. So who are the young players or the academy boys that we should be looking out for with your squad?
So this season, we'll continue to have a similar allocation of 3 or 4 players. The ones who are returning with us will be Kobe Rees, who's an open side flanker, Morgan Williams, who's a loose head, and Ali Rees-Weldon, who came to us the beginning of last year, who's a winger and played for Wales 20s. So they'll be returning. And then we've got one other who's an hooker, young Tomoya, who's just turned 19, 20. So another youngster. But yeah, really looking forward to seeing those players develop more, push those on and get some representative honours. And I'm sure Harry, after a real promising season last year, will want to establish himself and be a standout for the 20s this year. During the Six Nations and World Cup, and he's got a huge potential.
Okay. So that's your coaching setup, your squad settled. So we are now days away from the opening fixture. So how has training gone for you guys? How have you done it yourselves? Some teams have gone with conditioning blocks, then rugby. Some have done a mix and match. What's your approach been?
We've prioritised a lot of decision making and team organisation from day one. Really, we've had the ball in the players' hands. So yeah, it's been a big focus on trying to get the players to think on their feet, playing under a lot of pressure. And then on the weekends, the players have been really committed and they've trained with a real focus on conditioning on a Saturday morning, which has been fantastic. Dawid's done a great job with them. He's mixed that up, and yeah, the players have taken ownership of their own conditioning away from the club, but also on those Saturday mornings, and they've been fully committed to that. So yeah, a little bit of balance, but the ball in hand has been a big focus for us this year, particularly on our transition game.
So I'm expecting there was a lot of scenario-based, training drills, etc., that you focused on.
Yeah. Again, the fact that we've had continuity now and in the squad for the last 2 seasons, we haven't had to really develop a style of play. It was just trying to try and get the new players up to speed and embed what we were doing, really, and just trying to create as many decision-making problems as we can within training and just adding lots of pressure. So yeah, that's what we felt. We let ourselves down at the back end of last season in both semi-finals, was around that game management and crucial decisions, really. So we've gone after that early this season.
So pre-season is officially over, and you've just touched on both my next points for there brilliantly. Thank you. What have been your major work-ons in those games, and what style of play can we expect to see from Ebbw this season?
Firstly, that's style of play. Like any team, we want to be a side that can play in a number of ways, which is a lot easier said than done. To have the all-round game takes time and a lot of work. So yeah, we want to be a team that can play in lots of ways. That means playing a game which is a team which is dominant up front through the forwards, but also being able to play a fast open game. So yeah, that is the ideal way of playing any game of rugby. But going back to where we think we could improve would be our discipline. I think we finished second from bottom regarding yellow cards, so that's something we've spoken around. And also, any good team will prioritise our defence. We were second in the league last year for our defence effort, and that's something which we always want to get better. So yeah, they are probably the main 2 areas, really: our discipline, defence, and our line-out. Our line-out was a big work on. I think we were 9th in the league last year. So the players have really taken ownership of that, and hopefully we see some improvements in that area this season.
So despite the critiques that you've just pointed out to your squad there, you had a really strong season, like you said, semi-finals, both the cup and in the league playoffs. So what are the expectations of this season? Where are we going to see Ebbw Vale at the table? Do you see yourselves pushing for top 4? How do you approach this now?
Progress is probably our main objective. If we go back to the first year when we had a big rebuild, when we started the project, we finished 5th in the league, just outside the playoffs. Last year was 3rd. So if we can improve on that this year, that'll be fantastic. But we understand, there's a lot of good teams, a lot of clubs have strengthened their squad, so it'll be a huge challenge. But yeah, that would be a nice achievement if we can stay in that top 4 area. But we understand it's going to take a lot of buy-in from everyone involved in the club.
So that's all the rugby stuff aside. Now I'm going to ask some very hard-hitting questions here that every fan needs to know. I've had poor answers. I've had no answers. Just give me anything, okay? So first one up, how much is a pint in the clubhouse?
Oh, God, you're probably asking the wrong person, because a lot of people will tell you. I don't very often go to the bar. But one thing, I don't know the price of a pint of beer at Ebbw Vale, but I think it must be a strong beer, because all our supporters and players always seem to be having a good time, and they struggle to walk out of the club at the end of the night. So yes, whatever they're selling is doing a good job and is value for money.
A good atmosphere guaranteed. That's great, okay. More player focus now. Who's the longest in the shower?
Probably Ethan Phillips, who sees himself as a bit of a male model. He always takes a lot of time, takes constant abuse from coaches, players. He's a great character, and he always seems to be in the changing rooms a lot longer than everyone else, because he sees himself as a bit of a ladies' man.
And last one, who is the heart of Ebbw Vale? Who is the first one in, the last one out? You know, whether it's coaches, players, what's the word for it? The committee. Who is that one person who embodies Ebbw Vale better than anyone else?
Oh, we've got lots of fantastic Ebbw Vale stalwarts, I would call them. You know, from our chairman Jonathan Jones, who's completely rebuilt the club. He's done a fantastic job. If you look at our kit men, who were there when I was playing back in bloody 97, 98, you know, 26, 27 years, like Sir Ron Taylor, Doug Taylor, Alan Hancock, you know, these blokes are the life and blood of the club. So we've got some fantastic servants, but, you know, through a lot of collective effort from everyone, the club's in a real strong position, and we're going in the right direction, on and off the field. Particularly, I see us being a club which, with the squad we've got, is only going to get stronger over the next 12 to 18 months. You know, we've got a lot of very, very good youngsters coming through, and when they get to the stage of 40, 50 games playing in the new SRC, I think they'll start to peak as a team, and really excited about seeing how those players develop, and more as a collective, and hopefully they can reach their potential.
Well, it sounds like an excellent club you've got on your hands here. That's everything I've got for you today. Thank you so much for joining me and answering your questions. And I'll catch up with you later in the season. So thank you so much, and we'll see you again.
Yeah, no problem. Pleasure, Martin. Thanks very much.
Bye.
That was the Super Rugby Cymru podcast. Please rate, review and share us on socials if you can, and join us again next week for more of the same. And until then, enjoy your rugby.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.